I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to explain something that is super important to make sure you include in all of your phonics lessons. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that now, and then also hit the little bell so that you don't miss out on any of the brand new videos I post about teaching literacy. Okay, so we know that teaching phonics is really important. Phonics, if you're not familiar, is just the relationships between letters and sounds, right? Like M can represent the sound, or SH can represent the sh sound. This is the foundational stuff that gets kids reading. We know from research that teaching kids phonics is the best way to teach them reading. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think, and that is that just because you teach a phonics skill, it doesn't mean that kids are going to retain it. Even if they seem to have mastered like OA and you've been working on it all week, that's great. But you can't just drop the OA pattern or whatever skill it is that you've been teaching. You need to continuously review it. As of now, phonics expert Wiley Blevin suggests 4 to 6 weeks of review after you've worked on a skill. Now that doesn't mean that, for example, you work on the OA vowel team for 4 to 6 weeks exclusively, but it does mean is that even when you move on to other skills, you're still finding ways to get kids to practice the OA vowel team. Maybe it's phonics games and centers. I love to do that when kids are working independently. Don't have them work on the skill that you literally just taught them because they haven't mastered it to a level where they can really be independent yet. Have them review skills, right? So if you worked on OA a week or two ago, maybe they're reading words in a game with OA and some other long O spelling patterns, right? That's a great way to review. Another great way to review is to have some kind of warm-up just built into your phonics lesson. It's a great way to like ease kids into the lesson. You're just going through some things, maybe some flashcards, maybe some other tools you have to review skills that you've recently taught, right? So review needs to be baked in. It doesn't need to be an afterthought, right? Like, oh yeah, maybe I should go back and review that. No, we have to really make sure that it's intentionally included in our phonics lessons. And so I'm curious right now, what do you currently do for phonics review? Do you have enough materials to do phonics review with your kids? Let me know in the comments. All right, so speaking of review, I have a really helpful tool that you can use. And this tool is very helpful, not just for like a quick flashcard review. It's especially helpful for when maybe kids have, you've already taught a skill, but kids have struggled with it. Or like maybe you taught a skill several weeks ago or even months ago, and now you're noticing that the kids are still maybe misspelling words with that skill or misreading words with whatever pattern it is. So now what you want to do is a little bit more than just a quick, here and there review. What you want to do is a bit more focused review. So I'm going to show you a tool that makes doing focused review of phonics skills so quick and so easy for you, because that's what you need, right? Like you've already put all this effort into teaching the skill. So when it comes to doing a more focused review, you want to have tools that are handy, you can just pull out and not have to prep. So let me show you an example of that. Okay, so what I have here are sets of digital slides for a ton of different kindergarten through second grade, even into early third grade phonics skills. And so like what you're doing here as the teacher is you're displaying these for the kids, and we give you a script, like a guide of what to say, but you're having them like repeat the sound, trace the sound for multisensory. You're looking at some examples. You're doing some phonemic awareness with the sound, right? Which pictures start with ch. So some phonemic awareness, then kids are blending to read some words with the sound. And obviously this looks different, right? The CH digraph is a relatively early phonics skill. So of course, as you get up into, glued sounds, R-controlled vowels, closed syllable exceptions, vowel teams, complex word endings, the activities are going to change. Okay, so now I'm in a different set so that you can see what a more challenging skill looks like, ending DGE and GE. There are differences, right, in between the skills and what the kids are working on, but there's still going to be some type of phonemic awareness practice. There is going to be some type of So this is still phonemic awareness practice, but we're talking about spellings. There's going to be some type of reading, obviously individual word reading as well. There's going to be spelling words with these patterns. There's also going to be some kind of sentence dictation. So you're getting both the decoding and the encoding. And of course, we give you the plan so that you know exactly what to say as you're going through these slides. So here's an example of what the teacher version looks like, and it again will tell you everything that you need to say. And then there's also some optional student pages that you can actually print out and have the kids follow along with you. Of course, these are so flexible. You can also literally just put the slides up, do a couple, pause it, come back later, or not come back at all. That's a really nice thing about these digital slide set. It can be, you know, as full of a lesson or as short of a lesson as what works for you. So super flexible that way. The link for these phonics slides is in the caption of this video. I hope that was helpful to see as an example of how easy it can be to review a skill or even do some reteaching if your kids are really struggling. It's so important to have tools like these on hand, because you never know, right? During the school year when you get a new class of kids, you really never know when they're gonna struggle with something. So you don't wanna be scrambling last minute, and having these digital slides on hand will be super helpful, so you can just pull them out and get your kids back up to speed and move on. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.